Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
So this is the best part of my quarter, is actually getting to be part of Volusia County Women That Care, and then getting to meet the people that got nominated, won. I don't know. I always say won, but it's just a grant that's being honored to them that quarter. Everybody's a winner. But to me, it's just so exciting to hear about the organization and spend some time together. So Teresa, tell us about this morning, please.
Thank you, Shelley. Shelley, you know I'm always excited to be here. I'm Teresa Smith, and I'm the head of Volusia County Women Who Care, of which Shelley has been a member, and Evelyn, sitting beside me, has been a member for some time. And we can share with you that it is a powerful experience to sit in a room. We meet quarterly with a group of with community leaders and individuals across our community that care about this community and are there for the purpose of making a difference and moving the needle. And regardless of, Shelley used the word winner, and I use the word recipient, whether or not you have been voted by the members to receive that quarter's membership grant or not, you are a winner. Mm-hmm. You have the opportunity to stand in front of a group of individuals that are by definition caring and by definition want to make a difference and are there for that sole purpose, and they're there to hear about the work that you do. There's synergies that happen, collaborations that happen. There's all kinds of magic stories that we've heard about over the years, Shelley, that we could share. But I'm delighted to be here with you. Thank you so much for allowing us once again to be on WAPN. And today we have what Shelley calls a winner. We'll call the second quarter recipient of our member grant, Evelyn. And Evelyn is with Council on Aging. And we are very excited to hear from Evelyn today and learn a little bit more about what this amazing organization does in our community.
Thank you for having me. So much.
Yes, I'm so excited because I know what that is, but a lot of people don't know what we're aging, so are we Council of Aging? But what is Council of Aging, and what does it do for our community?
Okay, thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing us to be winners, recipients, everything.
It is everything, isn't it? It's both.
Absolutely. We were fortunate enough to be chosen 2 quarters now. We were a smaller grant recipient a quarter ago.
I love it when
so
that happens, because I feel like sometimes the smaller ones, and they kind of think, well, I can't go again. But actually, I think that's your setup.
Yeah, I agree. I said the same thing. Because Heather was here a few months ago, and I said, you threw out the bait. All I had to do was, reel it in. So,
so tell us the backstory of what it is.
So we are a local nonprofit. We're a private not-for-profit organization. We've been around for 59 plus years. We'll be celebrating our 60th birthday next year. So lots of new things. We had a brainstorming session yesterday, so stay tuned for that. We provide, our flagship program is Meals on Wheels. Most of the time when people say Council on Aging, and you say the word Meals on Wheels, and they're like, oh, got it. I know you exactly, and I know you have a personal connection with that program. So we deliver Meals on Wheels, which is not just a meal. It's really a wellness check.
Totally.
So we are grateful. We have about 300 volunteers who help us deliver meals 5 days a week. On Fridays, we deliver the meal for Friday, and then we deliver 2 frozen meals so they can get them through the weekend. And again, it's not just a meal. And these are homebound clients. So these are people that the Meals on Wheels driver is typically the only person they see all day, and which is, there's a real bond between the volunteer and the client. But the volunteer gets to notice that Mrs. Smith is not looking like she did, a week ago, or there's something different about her. So when things like that are observed, they'll go back to the coordinator at their nutrition center where they pick up the meal, and then we get in touch with the loved one. Usually out of state or out of town, and say, hey, Mom, your mom wasn't looking quite like it. And then, it's a wellness check.
It really is. I have to say, because I am a person that uses Meals on Wheels for somebody I love. And it is amazing. I'm just going to have to tell you, I never knew about you until 7 months ago. And somebody handed me a flyer. And it was life-changing for our situation. And it's life-changing every single day. I've got to meet different drivers. I've got to see how kind they are. They come like with the biggest smile on their face.
Absolutely.
They're like within 5 minutes of when they're supposed to be there. Right. They're walking in with this hot meal. It's nutrition. It's warm. It's, life-changing.
Yes.
So from me personally, who gets to experience not as a person that gets it, but as a person that participates with somebody that gets it, thank you.
Yes,
You have been life-changing.
Thank you, thank you. We hear that a lot. We hear a lot of those stories. And sometimes, unfortunately, we are able to nip health situations in the bud because sometimes the person doesn't come to the door. Well, that's right there is a red flag. So if they're, maybe they've fallen, literally.
And you actually guys do what you say. Well, because sometimes people will say we're eyes on them, and you're really like, really? But yes, I'm the person that gets the phone call. So one time I did get the phone call, and absolutely. It was just because somebody was in the backyard, didn't hear or whatever. But how nice was it? I mean, first panic when you see the phone number, but then you breathe, and it's like, oh my goodness, you really do what you say. So again, thank you. I mean, you guys just rock stars.
Thank you. Yes. And we have a great team. We have about 100 paid employees, and then, like I said, 300 volunteers that help us do what we do. But again, meals is just it's a big part, but it's just one of many things that we do. We have, obviously, we provide in-home care for clients. Our main mission is to keep the individual in their home or in their environment for as long as possible so that they don't have to go into an institution, and because, people should be able to remain in their home for as long as possible. So we provide the services that allow them to do so. We have about 40 home health aides and CNAs who go into the home and do personal care, some light homemaking, maybe make a small meal, even sit with them, play a game, keep them company, those kinds of things. So we operate 7 senior activity centers throughout the county in various cities, and we have 7 nutrition centers, and then we have 4 senior activity centers throughout the county. There we have
so nutrition center, is that where they provide all the meals to send out? Or okay, so people don't go there and eat?
Yeah, they go there and eat. That's where they have their socialization, and they meet with their friends, and so they eat there. But then those who can't drive or for whatever reason can't get out of the house, that's where we deliver the Meals on Wheels out of. So yes.
Now, is it DeLand or Deltona that's looking for a driver? I saw one of your posts.
I think we're always looking for people, and especially.
Are you really? That surprises me, because it seems like we've been into it now almost 7 months, and it's been the same, the same ones consistently, which I think an older person really needs that.
Yeah, consistency. But we have snowbirds who volunteer for us, so they go home, and then we have to.
And that's all volunteer, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
How does somebody become a volunteer for that?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So we have a wonderful community engagement liaison. Her name is Doreen, and she interviews volunteers. She meets with them. She goes through the paperwork. So all you have to do is either call us, which is area code 386-253-4700, or we have a website, which is coavolusia.org. And Doreen's extension is 239. So.
Now, as an individual looking to get Meals on Wheels, are they vetted or are they checked out so that I don't think just any Joe Blow is going to their house?
Absolutely.
Well, that's important.
Well, there's an interview. Just because someone's an unpaid volunteer, there's still an interview process, because you have to be the right fit. You have to have empathy. You have to love seniors, really. Mm-hmm. And we do FBI background check, level 2 background checks. So everybody is vetted and drug screened and vetted, and as are our employees as well.
So they're volunteers. So like when they do the over and aboves, which we seem to be the recipient of that a lot, like they bring extra candy or they, I mean, my gosh, it is so darn sweet. I don't just mean because it's sweet.
No pun intended.
But is that something that you give to them to provide, or are they doing that just because they love what they're doing?
Absolutely. Sometimes you're like, because there is a boundary between the volunteer, or there should be a boundary between the volunteer and the client. But no, that would be out of their own free will.
And so sweet.
Yes. So they've been known to give a little something for Easter, or maybe they know this person is a mother, and they just give a little gift. So yeah.
Well, my girl's favorite day is when you guys bring the birthday cake once a month.
Yes.
I mean, that is cheap entertainment. So tell us a little bit about that. Why would you do that?
Well, it's just another way to feel special. A lot of these people they don't get treated very nicely, and by either they haven't been by a family member or they're just alone, and it's just a nice way to say, hey, we're thinking of you, or we're celebrating a birthday, and here, have some cake. And they do it in the center as well, and we have and we have Father's Day celebrations, or we have a Mother's Day special get together. So we always kind of find different things to do. So.
It's amazing. Now, why are you part of this? I mean, because you seem very passionate about this. I become super passionate because I see you guys in action and want to be part of you.
Yes.
But why did you become part of this?
Well, it was really, this is my first nonprofit experience. I've only worked in the for-profit world.
Okay.
So when I've been with the organization 11 years now. And we used to be on Beach Street. For those of you listening, you probably know that we were there for a very long time. And then unfortunately in 2018, Hurricane Irma decided that, enough of that.
We're moving you inland.
We lost our building, but now we're at a fabulous location at 420 Fentress Boulevard, and not in a flood zone, and we're high and dry. And we also have, before I get back to your question, we have a community loan closet also, where we have wheelchairs and hospital beds and walkers, and that's for anybody in the community. And it's also not just for seniors, so it's for kids as well. So you can come, and if you have equipment that you no longer need, you can drop it off. And if you have something, let's say a loved one took a fall and you need a walker for, whatever, 5,
It's
6
crazy
weeks.
when that happens,
Yes.
because when my husband got hurt, I thought, well, he got hurt, we'll be able to handle this. And then there was like a list, because I did not want him to go to rehab. So he was coming home, and it was like, well, you need this thing on the bed, and you need it. And I was like, oh my gosh, and trying to scramble to get it all there within 24 hours was just crazy.
Right.
Because I didn't know that there was services like you, that I could have went and got help.
Yes.
So do we call you, or do we just come by?
You can just come by. We're open Monday through Friday. 8 to 5, and we have a fabulous referral coordinator. Her name is Sean, and she will help you get what you need. And she also has a ton of resources. So if you need something, we get a lot of calls from people that are in a homeless type of situation, or they're about to lose their home. So while we don't provide, housing or anything like that, we do have resources that people can call if they find themselves in a situation like that.
And that's wonderful.
But getting back to you, so I was working in the for-profit world, and I saw a job opportunity at Council on Aging, and I applied for it. It was a chief operating officer position, and my background is in human resources, and I love operations, so it was kind of it was meant to
Perfect.
be, yes. And I started, and then I was hired by our previous CEO, Sarah Gerdes, who might be familiar to your listeners, and she hired me. And we also had Terry Carroll, the other co-executive director, because we're co-executive directors, which is an unusual situation, but we work very well together. Terry is more over the finance piece. She likes to be behind the scenes, and I am kind of I'm out there. Here I am now. She would never be caught behind this microphone. But we're yin and yang, and my strengths are her weakness, and vice versa. So, and we just kind of, after Sarah retired, she elevated both of us to, she had to sell it to
You're
our
doing
board
a
of
great job.
directors. And it's like, okay, let's give this a go. And it's been 5 years now. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now you're about to get a big check, right?
Yes, ma'am. You
Tell
are.
us about how that works out. We're getting ready to go tour this facility, right?
Yes, we have the opportunity to tour the facility on the June 25th. I think it's at 10 a.m.
Right.
And it's at your Ormond location.
Yes.
And for those of you who are members, we will give more details on exactly what's going to happen that day. But typically what we do is we have the opportunity to learn a little bit more firsthand what happens at your organization. Now, I had the opportunity. I went a couple months
know,
ago.
without me.
Without you. And I don't know why. I can't believe I did that. But it was such an incredible experience to sit in one of the nutrition centers where the drivers did come in and pick up the Meals on Wheels. So I got to talk to a few of them. Plus, they were serving meals that day, so lunch. So there were seniors that drove themselves, many of them, to the facility. I think some took public transportation, some were dropped off. Because I walked around and talked to some of them, but you could tell that it was life-changing, and it was for each and every one of them. And they told stories about how much they enjoyed coming and sitting there, and they would sit with their friends, and sometimes they were talking, and sometimes they weren't. They didn't feel like it, and they all just rolled with whatever was going on. They did little activities. Some were drawing, some were doing little puzzles, and then we had bingo, and I had the opportunity to call bingo, and I didn't do it exactly the way
They
they
wanted
it done. So I was told, and that was
That would have been
fun.
priceless. I would have given
Yeah.
him anything to be there that day.
Well, it was humbling, but I had to admit I'm learning, and so they were helping me learn, and it was very fun though. And their reward for the day for the game was a little candy bar, and so
That's huge.
It was huge. And you would have thought we were giving away $1 million check. They were so excited to get that candy bar.
Oh, yes.
And it's a mini candy bar, no less. And so they were so excited. But it was really, really fun to watch. Some participated, some didn't. But you could see that every one of them took away what they needed from that day. And so it was a great experience. So at our truck presentation, and again, I'm not sure, and Evelyn can tell us the facility, but we'll get to see firsthand what they do. Maybe we'll have the opportunity to speak to some of the seniors. I know that was meaningful to me. And we will present the big check. The check will will be over $30,000. We know that. We don't know how much over $30,000, but I am excited to say.
That's life-changing, $30,000.
Yes.
It's a nice, and that is a representation of everybody's $100. So every member that gives that $100, and you think about my $100, well, that's meaningful if I handed you $100, but together it's mission moving. Together it can make a really big difference for a nonprofit's ability to serve or to expand their services or to meet a gap. So it's together and collective. That collective action is pretty significant. So I'm very excited and proud of that. One of our members, longtime members, does a new member matching grant. So for all of those out there who have never been, who've thought about it, because often people think about it, you have the opportunity to come and visit. And if you join, we have a member that matches every new member's gift 100% for their first gift. So what does that mean to you? That means this quarter we had 31 new members.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
that means 31 extra $100. 3,100. Isn't that crazy?
I just got chills.
Yeah, because like when I joined, there was 4 that night back in
Right.
the day, and that was when we had like $10,000. Not that $10,000 wasn't a lot,
Right.
but I remember I was so excited that there was 4 other people. You know, I was like, yay!
Yay,
I mean, it was like double
$400.
right there.
I know. And this couple that are so dear to us, and she was, Andrea was our very, very first member that walked through the door when we started Volusia County Women in Care in 2017. And her and her husband have been committed to us all along, and they continue this match. We kept thinking that when we were trying to push for new members, that was one of the emphasis of that year, and they stepped up and agreed to do that. But they've continued it year after year. So just so you know,
Yes,
I
no.
just saw that this morning.
They're
31 new
amazing
members.
No,
couple.
they're lovely. And I believe they're attending the check
Oh, good,
presentation. I
good.
think I already heard that through the grapevine.
Oh,
So,
good,
yeah.
good. I'm
Yeah,
sure
they're,
they'll be
and
there.
they're so like nonchalant. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? I
Under
just
the
love
radar,
them. I know,
yeah.
Very much under the
and they
radar,
do so much for this community.
Yes,
It's
yes.
just amazing.
Yes, they're
and
wonderful.
I mean, your organization alone does so much for the community, and then the partners that have come along and the things that you do in the community are amazing. And for me to sit here and think, wow, my $100 made 30,000.
Yeah,
Isn't that
exactly.
crazy?
No, really, because I could just hand you 100, or I could be a part of an organization that's going to multiply.
Yes, no, it's what you've done, Teresa, with the organization.
Thank
It's
you,
just
Evelyn.
amazing. I think when I joined, I think we were at 200 and something. So it's just unbelievable. You're almost.
And
at
now
the
we have
400
men and
now.
everything.
Yes,
I know.
right?
We've allowed them in the building. Now, what is Council Page's thoughts of, like, I love to ask now because I will be bringing you back at the end of the year and really want to know what you did. But at this moment, what do you think you're going to do with the money?
Well, I believe the pitch was what I made at the meeting was we are kicking off. We kicked off our latest campaign, and it's called Golden Lifeline: Nourishing Our Neighbors. So we have a lot of people talking about meals that are in dire need of a meal and are too proud to ask, or are just it's between. You know, we had a call from a gentleman. I haven't eaten in 3 days. I had to either pay for my cancer medication or food, and I chose my cancer medication. So we
That
got him.
just shouldn't be.
We got him a meal that same day. We had a case manager assess him. There's so many of these stories. We have another gentleman, Russell, and same thing. He didn't have any food, and all he wanted was food for his pets, which brings me to another thing we do in a minute. But and he only had electricity because a neighbor let him use an extension cord into the neighbor's home. And so same thing. We got him a meal. We got him set up with Meals on Wheels, and we got him set up with Pet Meals on Wheels, which is something we do. We also deliver, like I said, sometimes people choose between do I feed my dog or do I feed myself?
Why do you think people go without food as a senior? I mean, I have my thoughts, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of people hope that their family is there to provide, and there's a lot of people that are in a sandwich generation right now where they're taking care of a parent and they're taking care of children, and caregivers are just spread really thin. I think sometimes people don't know how to use the resources that are available.
That's my thing. I think it's education.
And there's the whole technology barrier. A lot of the seniors don't know how to,
Well, they don't.
We're one of the only local organizations, that you can reach via a simple phone call.
And actually, you can.
Yes.
I called,
Yes.
and somebody answered. And within minutes, literally,
Yes.
within minutes, we were in the process. And they said, "Do you need me to bring a meal today?" And I was like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
I mean, it was like that easy.
Right.
But I think the problem was, and I had parents that I was a caretaker for. So it's not like I haven't been in this situation before, but I had never heard of you.
Wow, and we've been here for 60 years.
I
almost
know,
60
and I've
years.
been here
But
40
I hear
years,
that.
but I get that.
We hear that a lot. You don't, wow, I never knew you were here. But
But
you
not
know,
until you need it.
But if you don't
Right,
have a senior
totally.
in your life, or
Right.
then you wouldn't.
And then it's funny because when you ask the senior, "Oh, I can make my own meal."
Yes. Yeah,
But-
and there's that. There's a stigma, oh, yeah, it means I'm becoming old,
Or
Right.
independent,
I'm
or I don't-
incapable.
And then it's funny. What if I don't like it? It was so funny. But now it's like pacing until the driver gets there. And I
Yes.
love. I'm going to take a video one of these days and send it to you, because it is cheap entertainment. Because literally the clock turns 10:20,
Right.
and pacing begins. And so excited, and she's already looked at the
menu.
you guys give a
Yes,
menu.
we have a
You
menu.
do a printed out menu every
wow.
month, so
Yeah.
you know which day's the extra cake day.
Okay.
And it's so cute. And then you see the car go by, and the light flash, from the window, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then it all begins. And it's maybe 6 minutes of pure joy.
Yes.
It is just the neatest thing to participate in. I mean, it just blesses my heart.
I love that you tell that story. That's
And
great, yes.
the other day I brought flowers for us to bless the driver.
Oh, okay.
My daughter's a florist, and
Nice.
I knew the lady loved flowers, and so I just went and got her flowers that day. I said, I want to give back to somebody that's making a difference in my life, and I think they just give back every day, and it's just amazing.
Right.
I'd love to hear why they do it. So it is the best 6 minutes, and I am going to videotape it one of these
Okay,
days.
that would be wonderful.
So sometimes a person will call, or can a friend call?
Yes,
Can a neighbor? I
anyone.
mean, does it have to be the person?
No. It's usually someone, a neighbor, or maybe notices that the newspaper has been laying in the driveway, or there's multiple newspapers. We are the respondent for APS, which is Adult Protective Services. So we get that call if a neighbor has called DCF on somebody, and then we go out there and we have 48 hours to put services in place, and that can be as simple as a meal, or a case manager will come out and do an assessment. Sometimes you find horrible living situations. Sometimes our case manager can't even get to the door because things are so overgrown and people are just inside,
Oof, that'd be
by
hard.
themselves.
Now, how does one qualify as a senior? I mean, like, I'm a senior, but is there a qualification to be part of your services? I mean, what is it?
So we roll up to an organization called Elder Source. They're based out of Jacksonville, and they're kind of the regional over 7 counties, and we're the one in Volusia. And you would call the Elder Source hotline, not the hotline, but the
It is a hotline.
well, it is a hotline. But you call Elder Source and you say, I would like to get on your waiting list. I would like to be assessed. And anybody who's 60 can do this, even if you're in perfectly good health, because until you're not, you're thinking.
and I
"Oh,
love
don't-"
that, how you just said that,
Yeah.
because just like people can be homeless in a week.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
you could get hurt today
Right.
or whatever. So, I mean, I just got a text while we were live on the air from my husband that a friend of ours had a stroke.
Oh,
It could just happen. So anybody over 60 makes that phone call, or somebody for them.
Right.
And then the ball starts rolling.
And then somebody from Elder Source will call them and do an assessment over the phone, ask some simple question. Do you make your own meals, or do you have a caregiver, or do you live alone? Are you able to get around? And based on their answers to those questions, they get a score from 1 to 5. 1 being you're fine, you're good. 5 being you're in need
You
of
need to have
services.
services,
And then unfortunately there is a state waiting list. We call it a prioritization list, but there is a state waiting list that you get ranked. And then based on where you are on that list, we pull you down, we pull a number of people down, and then we ask for service, see what they need. And sometimes it's someone who's been on the list for 3, 4, 5 years. And sometimes it's someone who just got on the list a week ago, but just based on their ranking is how they get
But I do
scored.
know that you can actually pay for it.
Yes.
And I didn't know how to word that, but
Yeah.
that's the best way I can word it.
Private pay.
And
is
you know
we call
what?
it, yeah.
I encourage anybody that does have an elderly person in their lives that does need help, and if you can financially afford it, do that.
Yes.
Because there is somebody else that maybe can't or is on the waiting list. And if you are able to do that, you still get the services, and it's really, you can't even go to get a coffee. Okay. It's that reasonable.
Right.
For a real meal.
Yes.
With a drink and everything.
Right.
I mean, bread, drink, butter, all that.
Right. We have people who come out of the hospital and they're just home for 4 weeks or so. They just need to be at home and rest, but they're not quite up to making a meal. So they will just go for a short time. They'll call us. Ellen is our meals coordinator, same number, 386-253-4700. And she will make sure you get, it's $8.50 a meal, and you still get, you can see the menu, and you can say, oh, well, maybe not. But most people like the food. And most people have a favorite meal. I'm
Yes.
sure your friend has a favorite meal. The
Yeah.
crab.
The crab salad thing right now.
Yes.
There's 3 cold things in there,
Yes.
and it's like summer wonderful.
So,
And that's the favorite now. Right?
so popular.
Right,
yes.
yeah. But isn't it funny how I purchase them? And Ellen's on my speed dial.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
because we have a doctor's appointment coming up. So I'll let her know because we don't get it delivered that day. And we don't get an extra one because that's our day we go out to lunch. But I love that you guys offer all those things. Yes, I could do all the paperwork, and yes, we could get her qualified, and yes, we could get her on the waiting list. But God has enabled me to be able to afford it, so I'm going to afford it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I think that was a piece of the puzzle that I didn't understand when all this started, that you could get it even if you could pay for it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. And same with our in-home services too. We do have private pay options for people who are able to afford an aide to come into the home and do it. Whether it's temporary and even companionship. Sometimes we have clients that just like to go out to lunch. They're able to go out to lunch or go to a movie with the aide, but they just need somebody there. So, but
The first step is calling.
Yeah, absolutely. So our aides are wonderful. They're all background checked and fingerprinted and all that. So
I love it. I mean, it is, like I said, life-changing. I'm so glad we found out about it. And it's the best people, I think, are chosen to come to her house. They really are the best. And so kind. And it's one of the requirements to be joyful and smile, because I think every one of them gets out of the car with the
absolutely.
biggest joyful smile I've ever seen in my life.
All of our volunteers do it just
Because
for
they
the
want
love,
to.
for
They're
the love of it.
volunteering,
Some of
yeah.
them have been there 25 years. Some
Really?
of them retire after 25 years of volunteering.
See, my husband asked me if I'm going to do this.
And it's not a big ask of time. It's really, and you don't have to do it every day. You can pick and choose.
I've been asking all the questions. I found out that you can do it once a week.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I
Oh,
found
that's
out that
interesting.
there's like 6 clients that the one lady goes to, and they're all within a little thing. She
Yep.
said takes like an hour and a half of her time. And so I was like, yeah, because see, I thought it was a big commitment. I thought she got in her car at 8 a.m. and was driving with a hot box all day. These are the things that go through your mind when you've come
Right.
off the working world,
Right.
that you do clock in. You think, well, what are the requirements to volunteer? Y'all got the best of everything. Y'all really do. You have wonderful people that answer the phone. You have wonderful services. You show up when you say you're going to show up. You make that phone call even when you might not want to make it because it's weird, but you do it.
Yes.
And no, I can't find anything that I don't love about you.
Thank you. Yes, we're very proud, like I said, of our paid employees and then our volunteers. We have everybody does it for the love of the seniors, and just because they're just very mission centered. So and that's why.
So now you're going to do the pets. Now, like, what are the requirements for that?
Well, that's more of a like we have some companies that do drives. Something like, well, what can we do? What can we do? Well, you can do a drive. You can have a lot of companies now encourage their employees to volunteer. They give like an hour of time off or 8 hours of time off to go volunteer or go do something out in the community.
I love that.
And so it's either they come to a senior activity center. A lot of the seniors have, they have so many stories, what you were saying, and just like talk to them, find out their story. Where are they from? What
They
kind
love
of what do their
to- they
children
love to
do?
tell you, right?
Oh, they do.
Well, especially with this year being 250 years. Okay, think about it. There is some people that are 90, 100 years old, so they've lived through
Yes.
so before internet. I mean, I
yeah.
lived before internet.
Oh, right. I
You
think we
know?
all did, yeah.
No, but think about that.
Yeah, no,
My
that's
granddaughters cannot imagine that we used to listen to a radio and that we did not have a TV.
And
Right.
that you had to go up to the TV. And
Yes.
Turn it. You didn't
turn it.
have-
Oh my gosh, what was that, Nanny? You didn't have a remote? And then like
We had 3 channels.
Oh, on a good day. And then remember when our first email was "You've got mail," and
Yep.
it took 40 minutes to load, but we
Yep.
were so darn cool. But it's so funny. So I love talking to a senior just about what they've come through, where they were with a child, and
Yes.
what were they allowed to play outside? Because kids don't play outside, and we didn't come home until the lights came on.
Correct, right.
So it's so neat to spend time with that older person and hear the history
Right.
of why they're here, how they got to here, their family, and all that stuff. So I can imagine it's just a wonderful day at the senior citizen.
Oh, yes,
And is it daily or is it once a week or what is it?
Oh no, we're open 5 days a week.
So every day you have a different thing going on?
Yes, and we have senior activity center in Ormond Beach, in New Smyrna, in Deltona, a very lively one, and in
Now, why
Orange City.
are they lively?
It's just I hate it.
Party at the senior center.
It has a lot to do with their culture. There's a lot of Hispanic,
Yes.
and they just love to dance, and they love their pool, and they love music, and they just are very happy people. So it's fun to go there. But the Ormond Center, where we're going to be for the check presentation, is a very lively one as
good.
well.
Now, where is the Ormond Center?
It's at 351 Andrews Street in Ormond Beach, and it's a building owned by the city. Again, we have a lot of generous cities that either let us use the building for free or for a very,
why
very
wouldn't we?
nominal fee.
I mean, of course we'd want to.
And that particular senior activity center has also the nutrition center. There are 2 different sides to it. So we're going to be able, if you join us, you're going to be able to experience
both sides. Oh,
and it's 10 o'clock,
wonderful.
so that'll be right at the time where the meals will be put in the boxes to go out for delivery. We have a vendor who provides the meals to us.
Okay, that was going to be my
Yeah.
next question. Do y'all cook all those? And these, I vision these big pots and all.
We know.
You just blew it
there
for
are-
me.
there are COS
There's
types
somewhere that
do
has a big pot.
But we have a company called GA Foods. They're our vendor. They've been our vendor for quite some time, and they deliver to each nutrition center every morning. They look like little TV trays.
They do.
And, just like 3 compartments, and the starch and the greens and the meat.
Well-balanced meals.
Yes, and we have a nutritionist, not on staff, but we have a nutritionist, a dietitian that comes and meets with our nutrition coordinators, and then plans the meals for the next 3 months.
So it comes to you pre-made.
Pre-made, yes.
And then like you get the milk in, you get the juice in, all those different things.
Bread, butter, yes, and then
Because that fills a gap, I believe, in a senior's life. Because even though you feel like you're eating, I know as I'm getting older, I don't eat as much as I used to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you think you ate, or you think you ate quality or nutritious food, and you haven't had a vegetable in 4 years.
Right. Yes.
So that's what I do love about the meal. Also, is it meets all those
Yes,
qualities
it does,
that you need.
absolutely.
Okay.
Our dietitian makes sure that it's all.
And how do you keep it hot?
Well, it goes in a warmer at the center because it gets delivered about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they don't go out till 10:30
Right.
later on that morning. So they go put in a warmer, and then and that's another thing. We're very regulated. It's
Totally.
regulated a lot by the health department, and we have to do a lot of things. So that meal, when a driver takes 6 meals out, that first meal is a certain temperature, but that last meal has to be that same temperature.
Yes, ma'am. So do
there's
they have hot boxes in their car?
They have the carry-on. They're insulated containers that they carry.
See, I need to know all these things because I want to run out there and ask, but I don't
Yes.
want to look like a fool.
So we're constantly temping, checking the temperature to make sure it stays at a certain level. So that's another reason why the drivers, yes, they stay and they have a little small talk, but they can't stay for half an hour and
Right,
and
but
chat
6 minutes is huge.
because that meal, like I said,
Meal
that
has
last
to be at a
meal has
certain
to be
temperature.
when that last client on the route gets
Well,
it.
I've
has to be the
noticed
same
also
temperature.
at 6 minutes, she's ready to eat.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true,
you
too.
know what I'm saying? Because she knows
She's
it's
well-trained,
nice. Well, she
right?
knows it's nice and warm,
Yeah.
right? And she wants it. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we're good.
right.
But I love that.
Yeah, no, that's
So
right.
is it 6 meals? Like if I volunteered, it's 6 meals that I deliver, or how many?
It all depends on the route. It's somewhere between. Sometimes it's only 4. It could be more. If like if we have multiple clients in like a facility or something like that. So, but it's about 4 to 6, maybe 7. I don't think the routes are 7, but they're all close together, so the driver doesn't, and the driver, that's another thing. Our volunteers do get gas. We do reimburse them for mileage, but a lot of them donate it right back to us. They don't take the mileage. So we do pay for mileage if you are
Wow.
a volunteer.
Gosh, I wish I knew who invented all this and figured out this whole plan, because it is a well-oiled machine.
Yes. We're
I'm
very
sure there's
proud
been
of
a
it.
lot of trials and errors
Yes.
throughout the
and
time.
as far as scheduling the route, you have to, we plan it all out, so it's the shortest distance between 2 points. Like, don't turn here, turn at the next light. Yep, much quicker, that kind of thing. So
Now, I know what happens on a holiday or whatever, but let the listener know, because they're listening. They know somebody that needs help. They're going to call. So what number are they going to call?
they're going to call 386-253-4700.
And they're going to call for their neighbor, their mother, or whatever. But they want to know, well, what about with the holidays coming up? Or what about, for the weekend?
Right.
What is available?
We will do a frozen meal, like, let's say, like, for example, Friday is it's Juneteenth. Now, we are open, but some of our centers are closed just because the city or
Right.
the city is making them, having them closed. So, but for a holiday, usually they'll get the hot meal for Thursday, and then they'll get a frozen meal for Friday, and then actually they'll get 3 frozen meals for Saturday and Sunday as well.
And those are all nutritious and all
Yep.
that, and it's something they can put in a microwave?
Just put it in the microwave. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when they get a frozen meal, do they get the milk and the juice and the bread and the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, those are we call them the components.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yes,
Oh, good. I
yeah.
got a word now.
Yeah. They get the milk
I
and
am
the
going to
juice.
be way too cool after this interview. Let me just tell you. Well, I told her I was doing this today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
good.
said, because it has been such a huge blessing and such an honor to be part of. I was so looking forward to the whole mechanics of it, and I was upset that I didn't get to go that day. Not her fault. I just like to pick on her. My schedule did not work out, and I was like, I want to be a drive along, because I saw that different people in the city
Right.
were being drive alongs,
right.
and
Yes.
I thought, how cool would that be if Chip came walking
Well,
up to your door?
That's funny.
Hello.
I drove with him because
Did you?
it was in March when Teresa volunteered.
Yep.
It's called Community Champions
Yep.
Week, and we recognized the signing of the Older Americans Act, which created all this funding for Meals on Wheels back in the day, 50 some years ago. So different local community leaders, quote unquote celebrities, because Chitwood
I
is
guess
a celebrity.
we were
Yeah,
not
he
celebrities, Teresa. There, I mean, really.
So
I felt like a celebrity that day.
No, you are definitely a celebrity. But
felt like it.
I actually went along with the sheriff, and
Oh,
he
neat.
loves doing it, and he is such
He's
a
an amazing
proponent
man.
and a supporter. And we had our gala, our annual gala last month, and he was there for a little bit, and he pulled me aside and he said, I think all my deputies should do this at least once. He's like, it's such an important thing that you do in the community.
I agree
And,
with that.
He goes, I would like all my deputies.
I
to
would
do
think he
that."
could make that into a training.
Oh, yeah.
He's so he just analytical about constantly thinking. My grandson's a sheriff deputy.
Oh, okay.
And boy, I could see him going to some little old lady's house, and that little old lady just melting.
Oh, yeah.
6'7", good-looking dude driving up. I don't think he should wear the outfit though, because that might be a little intimidating
Well,
for.
I mean, the sheriff, I think he wore a polo shirt. that
Yeah,
day,
because
but-
could you imagine?
But then I also did a drive along with the sheriff from the chief in here in Daytona Beach as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
You were with 2 great
Yes.
ones to ride along with.
How
A
did
little
how did I do
celebrity
that?
you.
I must know somebody.
You must know somebody, exactly. That's wonderful.
Well, tell us again, how do we need to get a hold of you? What
You
are our
can-
requirements?
You can reach us at 386-253-4700, or again, our website is coavolusia.org. The website is very comprehensive. It'll have all the calendars, the activities for the different centers, so people can check it out. They can come 3 times before joining. We do have a very nominal membership fee for senior activities. It's $50 a year, and then $40 every year after that. So the initial fee is $50, but you get all the free coffee you want and play games and
And they can come every day.
yeah, absolutely. And they can stay as long as they want. Bingo, as Teresa said, very, very, don't mess with their bingo. I mean,
That's right.
that's very
It was very clear. Don't
Yes.
mess with my bingo.
Don't mess with my bingo.
Okay,
So,
so what is another service that you offer that maybe we don't think about?
let's see. We have, and I'm sure you've heard, there's a lot of people that are suffering or beginning suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. That's becoming real prevalent these days. So again, caregiving is a very stressful job, and those caregivers need what we call respite. So we offer in-home respite, where one of our aides goes into the home and sits with the client while the loved one goes out and walks on the beach or gets their nails done or just go catch their breath. Or we also have respite centers where they can go and drop their loved one off for either a 9 to 12 period or 12 to 3 or 9 to 3, whatever they want. They also get a meal that day, one of our famous Meals on Wheels meals. And the loved one can, once again, go out and do what they need to do
They
for
might
themselves.
have a doctor appointment, a dentist
or
appointment,
get
and just
the
needs a
haircut,
break, right?
something.
Or want to take a nap. I mean, it's-
Wow, that's like so overrated.
And we also have caregiver support groups where the caregivers get together, and it doesn't have to be their loved one doesn't have to be a client or anything like that, and they get together and just share ideas and best practices. Hey, that worked. You know what? That problem you're having with your dad, I had the same thing with my dad, and I
I
did
love
this.
that.
Share ideas.
Great.
See,
And
I would
even
have
it's
loved
just-
that when my husband got hurt because I didn't know how to use the shower chair very well.
Right.
I mean, I know that sounds so stupid when I say that out loud.
Why
but-
would you?
Right. Thank you. I love you. But if I would have just had somebody else that would have like just said, oh, I remember that day
Yes,
when I was trying to put it in the
exactly.
bathtub and half of it's hanging out and you're trying to figure out what to do. You know, is a person going to
Yeah.
slide off and break what else? You know, that was my biggest fear.
Right,
Is
right.
sliding off and breaking something. But it would have been great to be able to have somebody to talk to.
Yes,
So
and
you
that's what
have
it's just the
that.
bouncing of
Yeah,
just someone to
ideas
listen
and
to.
resources.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was the only one dealing with
Yeah,
this, and
totally.
I'm not, you know. and
Shared
it's-
experience.
So do we call the number?
Yeah, same thing. Call the main number, 386-253-4700. and-
Y'all better be putting that phone number in your phone on speed dial.
So that's another service that we
Okay.
offer. One other thing we do, I'm going to promote this. We have an event coming up in September. I know it's only June. It's our annual Dancing Through the Decades.
Oh, that's a great event.
Have
yeah.
you been?
I've been.
Another
yes.
thing I didn't get to go to.
Well,
Tell us about it. Tell us.
It's fun. It's a fun event.
Yes, it's going to be on September 4th. It's a Friday. It starts at 6. It's going to be at the Ocean Center. And basically you can come dressed in your favorite decade. And some people do, or some people come like Elvis or you know Michael Jackson or whatever.
Right.
Or just a
fun.
ball gown. And we have a DJ who plays all the different songs from different decades, and people just dance. And we have
Kind
a
of
lot
like a
of
senior prom on steroids.
yeah, we get a lot of dance groups, dance
Right.
schools that come, and they love it. They come
Now,
every
is this
year.
a fundraiser for you, or
It's
what?
a fundraiser. It's not huge for us, but it's going to make a
It's
little
fun.
money. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're just raising fun.
Exactly. So it's we were at the Hilton last year, but we are going back to the Ocean Center. We can fit a lot more people.
So
It's
do we
usually
buy
about-
tickets ahead of time?
Yes.
And
right
how
now
would we do that?
We have early bird right now. It's $60 for a ticket and $600 for a table of 10. So if you can bring all your friends and 5 couples
Right.
can
How fun is
and
that?
on August 1st it'll go up to $70 and $700. So if you want to go online right now, coavolutia.org, you click on the events tab and you can buy tickets then. Or you can also call Doreen and she can take your number over the phone, your credit card number over the phone, and her number is again 386-253-4700. She's extension 239. And
Wow.
we already have people,
Signed up
Probably
for
Signed
it.
up and
because it's their
tickets.
annual event, right?
Right.
So you already.
Yeah, it's always in September. And we just, it's
Well,
sometimes
and it's a big
beginning.
deal. I know, so we're like a lot of dance clubs, like the swing clubs, like on
Right.
the beach and things. And
Yeah.
one of our board members is, I didn't know that's what she did. She was part of a swing group. And so her and all her friends showed up and they were having a ball.
Yes. And we're always looking for sponsors as well. So Halifax Health is a presenting sponsor. They usually
They're
are
amazing.
every year. We're big fans of theirs and we're partners. So if you have an organization and you want to get your name out there, and it's a great opportunity for people. You're going to be in front of 300, 400 members in the community. So if you offer services to the community, it would be a great
Can
place
people
to
just
start.
can people just donate to y'all, or do you have a place to just donate? Like, I know that sounds just crazy, just donate, but there's
No.
people that want to become a monthly sponsor, or
Yes.
they want to donate. Maybe they want to be the person that is providing a meal for a senior. How
Right.
would somebody do that?
So same thing. If you go to our website, there is a donate tab, and you can pick if you want to your donation to go to Meals on Wheels, great. We also have an option for area of greatest need, because of course that can change from day to day. We also have the Nourishing Our Neighbors campaign right now, and as I was saying earlier, that's for emergency meals. So whether that's for a disaster, somebody knows that the neighbor hasn't been eating and they haven't eaten in 3 days, that's an emergency
Okay,
meal.
so
And
that's
what
a different fund. So that's the
Right.
fund to help the.
That's the fund
Okay.
that we're getting the $30,000
Right.
plus dollars for.
Okay,
That's
because
going
how
to
do you
the
do that right now?
crisis meals? We take it out of the Meals on Wheels money. So actually, 'cause we get
So then that causes, I see what it does. It's a rippling effect,
Right.
because then it puts that name maybe another bump down,
Right.
because you got to help the person, of course, that is in dire
Yes.
need
Right.
right that second. You would
Yes.
want to do
So
that.
this will be a separate pot of money
Oh,
for
nice
that
cushion for that,
crisis.
won't it?
Very nice.
Yes.
That's very
That
nice.
is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really nice.
So, but because I don't believe I mentioned, we are 70% federally and state funded, but we are responsible for raising 30%.
Thank you
of the
for saying
funds
that. I was hoping you
themselves.
would bring up that, because
So-
that's where, when I heard that, that's why I thought, I'm not going to fill out the paperwork.
Right. Yeah.
Just not.
Right.
Because
So-
I would feel really bad if you look down a road and 30% of those people that were in need didn't get, just because I wanted to fill out some paperwork that I know she would pass,
Right.
but I know I can afford it.
Right. That's wonderful.
because
that-
Shelley
thank you
has a
for
big
that.
heart.
Yes.
No,
exactly.
it's just because I think that people don't look at the numbers. We just think the government's going to pick up
Right.
what, I mean, and I'm not
And-
being mean when I say
No,
that,
no.
but we just think there's this endless pot of gold over there that's going to cover
And
everybody.
as you know, the funding ebbs and flows, and we never
Totally.
know what's coming down. Depending on what's going on, it might be that grant might not be funded like it was last year.
So how many people in Volusia County, or what are the stats in Florida? I mean, like, is it 100 people you help a week? Is it thousands? What is it?
We help about 2,000 people a year.
Okay.
And that is with meals, and that is with in-home care. But unfortunately, our population that we serve, they're older, so we don't have a client for. We rarely have a client for years and years and years.
Yes.
So sometimes
The
we only have a
turnover.
client for a couple of months, because unfortunately they
So
don't
is
live
Meals on Wheels and Council of Aging worldwide, across the United States, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it is.
across the United States. Yes, and there is a Council on Aging in every county in Florida. They may not be called Council on Aging;
Right.
they may have different names, but there is an organization that provides the services that we do in every county in Florida.
See,
They-
that's interesting, because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure about that either.
Yes.
So you could be in Oklahoma right now, and you just need to Google
Yeah.
something like that, and it could come up, and you could
Yeah.
get the services.
Yes, there's usually a Department of Elder, like we report up to Elder Source, and then Elder Source reports up to the Department of Elder Affairs in Tallahassee. So each state will have a hub like that, and then it'll trickle
And so
down
you're
to
an
the
information
counties.
highway for the elders, right?
Yeah, we like to think so. We do. We may not have the service in place, but we can certainly tell you where to get it. Absolutely.
And I think that's really important for people to know, because, like, when we first started this journey, I had no clue on anything. I'm not even going to act like I did. And I actually, well, I do. I thought I knew it all. Well, because my parents, I was their caretaker, right? So I thought, oh, I got
I
this.
can step
right,
in.
I
Yeah,
got
right.
this, no problem. Boy, did I not have it. because what one individual needs, and my dad was a diabetic and had heart problems. So his needs were way different than my mother, who had cancer. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Her whole thing was way different, getting treatments and, IVs and all. My dad never got an IV. So, each individual person, you just need a phone call that you could call and say, and don't feel like you're stupid. Just say, I don't know what
Right.
to do. Could you direct me?
Right.
And you have
Absolutely.
a group of people that can help.
Yep. Like I said, we may not be able to do the job ourselves, but we can certainly tell you
They
where
can
to go.
refer to.
Yes. We have,
I refer a lot of people to you guys, because I get calls throughout the community with Volusia County Women
I'm
in Care,
sure.
and I get a lot of senior calls. Particularly, they're either and sometimes they're being displaced, or they're, again, very isolated. And I'm sure it feels very isolating
Yes.
when you're in that situation, because, as you said, you're sort of. You don't know. You would have had the experience before, and I think the senior itself probably they feel a certain amount of pride.
Oh, yes.
And they don't want a
Yes.
handout
That's
and
right.
all
Yeah.
the things.
My parents were married 58 years. So when my dad died, her partner of 58 years, the love of her life, was gone. And now, thank God, his kids were here and we stepped in. But I think about, what would she have done?
right. No,
Because
absolutely.
she really didn't drive. My dad was a driver. My dad was this person. So, what would she have done? She would have called that number.
I hope so. I hope so.
But at the time, I didn't know there was that number. Do you follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
So
for sure.
we need to educate our community that it doesn't hurt. Like they call you
Right.
to call you and just ask the question.
Yes,
there's no
exactly.
wrong question, is
No,
there?
No, absolutely not. And you don't know what you don't know. So it's important.
And you can refer them to
Yes.
a service if you don't provide it. You
Right.
can refer them to to a provider.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I also wanted to mention, we are the public guardian of the 7th Judicial Court. So what that means
I was
is,
going to say in English.
so in that particular role, we don't just serve Volusia County. We have several counties, Putnam County and Flagler. But if a person is unable or to take care of themselves, and there is no one who's able to do it on their behalf, we become their guardian. So
Okay.
we take over their banking, we write their bills, we go to medical appointments with them, and we are their voice because they've been deemed incapacitated by the court.
Y'all do some amazing
So
stuff.
that's a whole different. That's still COA, but it's a different
Right.
area of
Different
ours.
level
But,
and different things that
But
you do.
yeah, so we have several guardians that do that, and they go. A lot of them are in facilities. Some of them live at home, but a lot of them are.
Well, you've
in
worn me out
facilities.
with everything you do, and it is hard to wear me out. Believe me. Teresa, do you have any more questions? We got about 3 minutes.
No, I don't have any more questions. I just say that I am looking forward to the check presentation and tour. I hope our members or anybody that's interested will come that day and join us and see firsthand
Yes,
how their $100 makes a difference, and just think what it's going to do.
Like I said, it becomes
Wow.
30 grand.
30 grand, and it will probably be 34,000. It's significant, and hopefully that's going to feed a lot of seniors that are making choices between their medication
Yes.
and they're paying their electric bill
Well,
and
at
food.
$8.50 a meal, let's
Yeah.
just do that math at 30,000 because you know I'm a numbers girl.
Yeah,
So
she's
while
gonna
you
figure it
ladies
out.
are talking, because people don't realize that a number is I'm a numbers girl, so I love numbers. So we would take $30,000 and we divide it by 850 because that's what it is a day, right?
Yeah, and then that's what the meal is. But then we also have obviously some
Operating
support
cost
and
and-
operating costs. So we always do 10, just kind of for.
Okay,
that's-
so at 10 even, that's like
3,000.
Yeah, that just right there that are emergency
3,000 meals.
needs.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay.
No, I think it's incredible. Thank you for what you do,
thank you.
Shelley. Thank you for supporting Volusia County Women Who Care. And I hope that anybody out there listening will look us up on the website. We can look for VolusiaCountyWomenWhoCare.org, or certainly call me if you've got questions at 386-562-1334.
Just come check us out and join.
Just check us out. Have fun.
Yes, I know.
We're at the Maury Husseini Center at Daytona State College, who is always so generous with us and hosting us. And we have such a great time. We get there at 5 o'clock, meet with our friends, have a beverage, and get settled in at 6 o'clock. We start, and we hear 3 amazing presentations.
amazing.
It is. Even
Amazing.
if just being in the room, it
Being
is.
in the room
It
is
is.
amazing.
And how do we
amazing.
get a hold of you again?
Again, 386-253-4700, and our website is COA Volusia, COAVOLUSIA.org.
And again, from the bottom of my heart, I am so honored that you're here today and so thankful for everything you do for our community and,
And
for our
thank
seniors.
you for being the voice and spreading the word and
Oh.
being a believer and all
Love
that
it. I'm